Good day, everyone. June the 7th, Sunday, day 84. Stay safe at home. Ron Crider, your faithful servant here, reporting for duty in Vero Beach, Florida. Got my trusty glass of V8 juice all ready to go with a little lemon in it. Check that out. Very good. V8 juice for a Sunday morning. Perfect. If you haven't seen this before, I report the most recent information on COVID-19 virus, including the daily numbers for Dade County all the way up the east coast of Florida through Brevard County and into Orange County. That would be Orlando. I do this every day, and I try to give you the most information I can get my hands on within the past 24 hours. And I always say this. It's a little bit selfish, but I like it. Please push the like button. Push, 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 push. I like you to push the like button. It's the gas that keeps my engine going here. And I do shout-outs every day. Shout-outs are for people who watch this video more frequently than others, sort of like Walter Davis. Ann Hawley. Is it Ann Hawley? I think it's Ann Hawley. I hope I got that right, Ann. Ann Hawley. She's related to George Ed, I think. I am sure she is. Robert, Roger, Liz, and Susan. Thank you, folks, for being very faithful viewers of this video. I sure do appreciate it. And then I give the weather report for the Treasure Coast. The Treasure Coast is Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties here on the east coast of Florida. Variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms, high near 85 degrees today on Sunday. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. The chance of rain today is about 60%. And then tonight, overcast, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 76 for you boaters. The winds will be south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And the possibility of rain tonight is about 20%, but they say, it will be 0 inches. So it will be less than an inch of rain tonight. On June the 5th, Florida's Phase 2 of recovery opens the following with capacity restrictions. Restaurants and bars, entertainment businesses like movie theaters and concert halls, playhouses, bowling alleys, and arcades. Personal services including, but not limited to, tattooing, acupuncture, tanning, and massage. All with very special restrictions, but they are all open. More than half of the state's known COVID-19 cases, 34,173, are in South Florida's 4 counties. That would be Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Monroe counties. Miami-Dade County continues to lead the state with the most confirmed cases and deaths. It has 19,299 known cases and 765 deaths. One of the tools officials are relying on to determine if COVID-19 is improving in the state is hospitalization data. Unlike testing, which might be limited to take days to report the results, hospitalizations can help give officials a real-time visual look on how many people are severely ill with COVID-19. So now we're relying a little bit more on hospitalizations. And when I give you my numbers coming up after this, you'll notice that I give you hospitalizations and new hospitalizations for each of the counties here on our East Coast. Miami-Dade reopens its summer camp on June the 8th, but due to the COVID-19, camps will be under new conditions and must require social distancing, masks, and daily temperature checks. Experts say camps can open. Not every parent agrees with that. Miami-Dade County announced that the Miami-Dade Public Library System will open on Monday, June the 8th, but with new COVID-19 safeguards, like mandatory face coverings, plexiglass barriers, and limited seating in the libraries down there in Dade County. Demand for suitable summer masks is increasing around the world as medical experts warn that using them in hot and humid conditions might cause breathing difficulties and dehydration. Always carry a little bit of extra water around with you in case you start feeling a little bit dehydrated. Even if you're not, drink the water. You can't drink too much water every day. Recently, doctors assembled a list of 36 recreational activities and ranked them by their associated COVID risks. And the most high-risk activity, not surprisingly, is drinking in a bar. Aside from the fact that bars tend to pack people in, people are less liable to adhere to safety guidelines while intoxicated. Well, I guess you're not really supposed to sit there and become intoxicated. One doctor in particular said bars represent a 10 by 10 in terms of risk. Other activities the doctors cautioned to avoid include large music concerts, sports stadiums, gyms, and amusement parks. In effect, any outdoor or indoor location that tends to have a high density of people can be breeding ground for the COVID-19 virus to spread. So you really don't want to be where there's a lot of people. You really need to avoid those things, especially old people like me. I say that all the time. The economy gained about 2.5 million jobs in May as the unemployment rate fell to 13.3% from a high of 14.7% in April. That's according to the Department of Labor, released on Thursday. Despite the bounce back, these are still the worst job numbers since the Great Depression. That's the bad news. Broadly, however, the figures were seen as good news, particularly given economists had estimated that there would be about 7 million lost jobs in May, with a recovery only beginning once states and businesses began to reopen. Many economists predicted that there wouldn't be a V-shaped recovery, meaning sharp losses followed by quick regains, which looks like a V on an employment chart. Although the U.S. economy is far from a full recovery, that is exactly what the job gains looked like on Friday. And therefore, people are rejoicing, and the stock market is doing well, and we have come all the way from 19,000 in the middle of March to 26,000 now, and we're on our way back up. So we've recovered more than 60% from where we were at 29,000. Now, wearing shades indoors is not just a fashion faux pas. It could also create opportunities for picking up unwanted germs, bacteria, contagions, and put yourself at greater risk for contacting COVID-19. Leave your shades in the car. You don't need to wear them inside the grocery store. Bad idea. Don't do that. It's a bad idea to wear them inside anywhere. You don't need sunglasses inside, for heaven's sakes. Why would you do that? Just another place to collect all those bad germs. Older people or those with pre-existing medical conditions are advised to wear medical-grade masks. If you're older and you're like me, wear your medical-grade mask. Got one right here. Okay, here's a kind of an interesting-looking mask. You'll notice that it's got kind of a little thing on the front of it. See that little black thing there? That's sort of a medical-grade mask. This one's a little bit different, though, and I'm going to show you what's inside it. There's a little pocket in here, and you can slide this thing out. And you see, this is the little thing you can wash and keep clean, and then it slides inside. There's that little pocket in there. The mask looks kind of funny. But you want to make sure when you wear a mask like this, it's supposed to come up as high as you can get it up here close to your eyes, so that if you touch your face, like I said yesterday, and it should come down here to your chin. The idea is that you don't touch your face. So this is kind of a pretty good mask. Cholesterol long has confounded medical science, given its important role in forming cell membranes while also being responsible for such conditions as fatty liver tissue and clogged arteries. Now, adding to those harms, a study by the Scripps Research Institute has shown that high cholesterol levels in lung tissue may be the key culprit in COVID-19 deaths, especially for those with such underlying chronic conditions as hypertension, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Okay, next comes the numbers. Here come the numbers, and we're hoping that we're going to have a good set of numbers for this Sunday. Back in a flash. All right, everyone, back in a flash. Ron Crider here. It is June the 7th, Sunday. These are the numbers for 11 o'clock Sunday morning on June the 7th. Up here in the upper left-hand corner, we're going to go across the top of this line. You can see my little mouse cursor going across the top here. And you'll notice that so far, Florida has tested 1,217,105 people. The new positives in the last 24 hours were 1,180. New hospitalizations were 54. And the new deaths were 12 reported for the entire state of Florida. This number over here, this 5.25%, that 5.25% is the number of people who tested positive out of all the people who were tested. So of the 1,217,105 that were tested, 5.2% tested positive, and that gave us this number of 1,180 new positives. I'll tell you this at the end again, but in the little group that we're working on, these yellow ones over here, 664 of those are in that area, and 56.27% of all of the numbers in the state of Florida are in just these counties over here on the left-hand side. So let's talk about these counties first. Indian River County being Vero Beach. Total people tested now, 7,379. There were 500 new tests in the past 24 hours. New positives in Indian River County, Vero Beach, were 4. New hospitalizations, 0. New deaths, 0. Now, look at our number over here, 2.22%. 2.22% of all the people that were tested positive. So of the 4 that we had, so there were very few. So that's a good number, 2.2, and as it's been all the way along, it's usually been second to the top of being the best. First to the top is Brevard County. Let's look at Dade County, 206,077. And of the 206,077, they tested 6,046 new people in the past 24 hours. New positives were 248. Huge number, 248 new positives. And new hospitalizations were 7. No new hospitalizations down there, although they're testing at 9.49%. That's Dade County. Now let's take a look at Broward County. That would be Fort Lauderdale. 124,538. They've tested 3,413 additional people in the past 24 hours. 114 new positives, 3 new hospitalizations, and 5 new deaths. Take a look at Palm Beach County, 91,869. They tested an additional 3,308 in the past 24 hours. They had new positives of 156, new hospitalizations 12, and 2 new deaths reported in Palm Beach County. In Martin County, 10,930. They tested an additional 194 in the past 24 hours. New positives 58, new hospitalizations 1. New deaths reported in Martin County, that's Stewart, 1 new death was reported. In St. Lucie County, 14,436 total people tested. They tested an additional 578, and the new positives were 20. The new hospitalizations, 1. No deaths reported in the past 24 hours in St. Lucie County. Now let's go up to Brevard County. That would be Melbourne, 26,481. They tested an additional 769. So there were 4 new positives up there. No new hospitalizations and no new deaths reported in Brevard County. That's Melbourne. And then in Orange County is Orlando, 81,957. They tested an additional 2,017 up there. They had 60 new positives, and they also had no new hospitalizations and no new deaths to report. Take a look at the center screen here. These were the new positives just in Indian River, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, Brevard, and Orange. Adds up to 664 of new positives out of the 1,180, or 664 is 56% of the cases are in these counties alone versus the entire state of Florida. So there are 1,180 entire state of Florida, but 56.27% or 664 are just in those counties. So a majority of them are in the counties that we're dealing with. Same deal here. Of the new hospitalizations, there were 51, but 24 of those are in these counties over here where my little arrow is. That's 47.06%. And then if we take a look at the deaths, the new deaths, 66.67%. Total deaths reported in the past 24 hours were 12 in the entire state of Florida, but 8 of which were in these counties over here, and that's 66.67%. Okay, now we're back here in the entire state of Florida one more time, taking a look at all of the people who have been tested in the past. Total people have been tested, 1,217,105, testing positive 63,930. And we don't deal with the negatives because they're the good ones. And then we come over here and let's take a look at the hospitalizations. Now, we are concerned about these hospitalizations and obviously the deaths, 10,942. And I gave you the difference there, but I'm bringing you over here so you can take a look at the map to see what's going on. And you'll notice here, once again, we had 1,269 reported on the 5th. 1,269 reported on the 5th. That's the latest one I have right now, even though today's the 7th. On the 6th, we had 1,035, and on the 3rd, we had 1,276, and the day before that, we had 1,219. Now, if I tell you these numbers, and then tomorrow I do it again, and you say, wait a minute, I saw this yesterday, and you told me different numbers yesterday, that's because these numbers do change as they bring new information in, just so you understand. Oh, another thing I want to point out to you is several people have said to me, you used to do these things early in the morning. Why can't you do that again? If I do it early in the morning, you're going to get yesterday's information. This information is only new at about 11 o'clock every day. So I can't get it done before 11 o'clock. Therefore, after I do it at 11 o'clock, it takes me an hour and 15 minutes to calculate the numbers and record it, put it all together, and then post it up there. So that's exactly why I can't do that. I wanted to show you one other thing here. So here we are again taking a look at the same charts that we look at every day over here. I'm going to try to make this one bigger just so you can get kind of a visualization of what's going on with these deaths. That would be the 2,700 deaths that we're reporting today. And you notice over here, pay a little attention to these ones on the end here, because this was on 6/5, they only reported 2, and then on 6/4, they reported 9. These are always in flux, and they're always changing. All we care about right now is we want to see these gradually coming down. We'd like to see them come down instantly, all the way down, bang, bang, bang. They're not doing that. They are gradually coming down. If you were to draw a line across the tops of these, you'll notice that this is since May the 8th. Now, you notice that May the 8th through May the 14th, we were really cranking up there. But now we're beginning to come down. It's very slowly, the deaths are beginning to subside. And up top here, these are the new reported positives. And as you can see, they're pretty high because we're testing an awful lot of people. We've so far tested 62,416. So that one is... But, and again, I tell you every day about these positive guys. These are people that have become ill, but they have not necessarily been hospitalized, and of course, they have not passed away. So there's a really good chance that those people are going to end up being just fine. We do have a reported 10,942 so far since we started this of people in the hospital. Now, they want us to start monitoring these hospitalizations quite a bit more, and that's why I showed you that information on the previous chart. All right, folks, so let's go over here and now take a look at the very big chart. Now, the very big chart is the global chart. USA cases, 1,922,054. We're getting very close to passing 2 million here. It's not going to be very long before we pass 2 million in USA cases. And down in USA deaths, it's 109,802. And as you can see, it won't be long before we pass 110,000 there. So you notice that's sort of my little Pennsylvania accent, 100. It's 109,802. It took me a little while to lose that Pennsylvania accent. And I haven't totally lost it. It still pops out every once in a while. And then in the global cases, 6,932,869, almost 7 million up there. And of course, we did pass on the global deaths 400,000. So it's 400,243. And those are the numbers for today, for June 7th, Sunday, day 84. Stay safe at home. So coming up next are some of my positive thoughts, and I hope you like them. And I'll see you again back here sometime around 1 o'clock on Monday. Hope you have a really great Sunday. as promised, I'm back in a flash. I've already received a couple of emails saying that I look better with the mask on than with the mask off. I don't think I'm going to be wearing the mask, though, during these programs. No, sorry about that. What you see is what you get. It's what God gave me. I got to look like the way I look. These are the special thoughts for today. Today is Sunday, June the 7th, day 84. Stay safe at home. These are the kind of cute little things that I picked up in the past couple of days. This one in particular is, if it would be easy, it wouldn't be worth it. If it would be easy, it wouldn't be worth it. I think that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Ever notice if something's really hard and you work really hard to get it done and you feel like, wow, that was really worth it? Things that are easy aren't necessarily worth it. That came from Hallmark. Here's another one. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Now, you might not actually think about that at the time when you're not preparing, that you're actually preparing to fail, but that's actually what you're doing. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. That's another Hallmark thing I picked up. Maybe I'm watching too much Hallmark. I like it, though. I really do like Hallmark, especially Hallmark movies and mysteries. Some of them are really extra good. This is important. It's a little bit deep, but think about it. Everything you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. There's a lot of truth in that. You know, you're scared about doing something. Sometimes you don't do it. I really would like to do this, but kind of afraid to do it. Then you do it, and guess what? It happens. To be your best, you must be able to handle the worst. To be your best, you must be able to handle the worst. Yep, if you can handle the worst, you're definitely your best. Things turn out the best for people who make the best of the way things turn out. It's kind of a turn of words. Things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out. Okay, so something didn't turn out exactly the way you had hoped it would, but you made the best of it. That's what's most important. I'll tell you another one. This isn't even written down here, so you won't be able to find it in my script, but never try to repeat an event and expect the outcome to be the same. You go on your honeymoon and you say 20 years later, let's go back and do exactly the same thing we did 20 years ago. Don't ever, ever, ever think about doing that. You're going to be disappointed because you just can't repeat that experience. That experience is gone forever. You have to make new experiences. Best thing you can do is find a new place to go and make a new experience there. But don't ever go back and try to repeat the experience. You're really going to be disappointed. And as I say every day at this time, always be part of the solution. Never, ever, ever be a part of the problem. Always be a part of the solution and never part of the problem. Push the like button if you like this video. I hope you did. If you push it a couple of times, you may unlike it. I said that yesterday, and I don't know if that's really a word or not, but make sure that the little green light's on when you push the like button. And I hope you have a very blessed Sunday, and I'll see you again here, right here, same place, same time, on Monday.